Hi, butterflies. It's Danielle. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We're still gibbering. May 12th, 2020. Welcome to Danielle's Den. This is where the recordings for the Butterfly Effect takes place, and pretty much anything for DNC Ministries takes place in this room or in the prayer closet, because I need the Lord to speak to me about everything. But how is everyone doing? How are you doing as a human being during this time? We are almost 3 weeks in with the protesting. I believe quite a bit is still going on, which is really speaking volumes as to what the change that needs to take place within America. Like when you have other countries also protesting with you, the United Kingdom, Syria, mural of George Floyd, and we know this is it's so much bigger, but again, the death of George Floyd was just the breaking point. So how are you doing as a human being? I know I again haven't really gone on social media too much because I know where my mind will go, and I just need to make sure that mentally I am good, as well as spiritually and emotionally. As I mentioned before, I do suffer from anxiety, and I'm constantly have to ask the Lord to help me with that. And I'm constantly referred back to Philippians 4, 6 through 8, to be anxious for nothing, but to think like God. And are you guys having these conversations? That's what's important. Are you having these conversations about racism, systemic racism, with family, with friends, with neighbors, with coworkers, even a stranger that the Lord's going to have cross your path? Are you having these conversations? Because they're very, very important. The history that's being taught in history books, like I mentioned before, you have to go to the locations, you have to study it, because the history books will pretty much minimize history, especially when it comes to Black history and a lot that the Black people have done for the United States of America, and the travesty that's also took place against us, or taking place against us, excuse me. They're trying to minimize that. You got to do the research, and what is really filling my heart this time is seeing a lot of young white teenagers, college students out there protesting along with us. And yes, they say, this for me, like the pain I'm going through is temporary, but African Americans, they have to live through this every single day. And that being able to have that experience is opening their eyes. I know people are like, well, it took you so long. It's a start, right? Process. Everything's a process. Nothing happens overnight. It's a process. But just to see the movement of this, how it didn't stop within 1 or 2 days. It's still going on. Change needs to take place. So the conversations with family members will be uncomfortable. I know there was a video, Tony Baker, I don't know if you guys saw him on Instagram, but he had a video on there where a young white girl was having this particular conversation with her parents. And her dad just kept saying he knows how all Black people are. They just want to be ghetto. They just want to live off the government, which are lies. And she said that it wasn't true. Then her mom came in. Then her mom tried to have statistics. Young girls, like, statistics can be warped. They can be warped. So she was like, go ahead, Mom. It's about the statistics. And her mom did. And the girl came back at her. And is it uncomfortable? Yes. Was it hard for her? I'm sure it was. But she was like, you guys have been telling lies. You are not willing to admit that racism exists. So therefore, you still want to live in that lie that everything is good and that they have everything they need. Speaking about Black people, if they have everything that they need, what are they complaining about? Complaining? Like, what? Complaining? That we can't be free in our own skin, that has been assigned to us. That's the part that gets me. Like, this has been assigned to us, so it's almost like we're being punished because the color of our skin. And I love the color of my skin. I do not regret that God gave me this color. I don't regret. The hair that he gave me, I mean, it's blown out, right? right now because I wanted to get it trimmed. But when my natural curls, please understand, love. And because we have been knocked down for so many years, and then when you live according to the word and what God says about us, not what the world says about us, trying to put us in these little categories, and we can only do so much, and we get scholarships based off of being so athletic. We do well in football and basketball and and baseball, softball, so we get those scholarships. Academically, and you guys can be okay, which is not true. Lies. And this is coming from Satan. Like, he is trying to work overtime on this. Do you understand me? He is really trying to get that for people to have blinders to where they still don't see. I don't know what the problem is. You have videos up where say, you need to speak. When you're here in America, you speak English. Just to let y'all know, and I'm sure you guys know this, United States of America does not have an official language. So that needs to stop. There is no official language of the United States. Like other countries, they have their official language. United States of America, we don't have an official language. So therefore, when someone comes and they are speaking Korean and they're speaking German, they should be allowed to speak it. Because I know when Americans go over to other countries, they don't attempt to learn. And I'm not saying everybody, but I used to live in Germany. And when I was living there, I made an attempt each time to learn how to speak German. So I was because I'm in their country, okay, and they try to speak their language. But I knew something, they're like, well, I'm not going to learn how to speak German. But you're living in their country, so you need to learn. Privilege. But God is he is using this for such a big, big thing. This is a season of being uncomfortable. Completely uncomfortable. There's let me see if I can find it real quick. I know someone had, okay, so sorry, that's, if you guys hear noise, that's my dog. He's trying to get ready for bed here. But there was one posting that someone put up on Instagram, and I thought it was it spoke volumes, really. Let me see if it will pull up again. You doing okay? Okay. So what if 2020 isn't canceled? What if 2020 is the year we've been waiting for? A year so uncomfortable, so painful, so scary, so raw, that it finally forces us to grow. A year that screams so loud, finally awakening us from our ignorant slumber. A year we finally accept the need for change, declare change, work for change, become the change. A year we finally band together instead of pushing each other further apart. And I believe that, like, God doesn't want us to be in our comfort zone. So yes, everything that's going on, it is uncomfortable. Having conversations with family and friends is uncomfortable. Like, white people, you're having these conversations with your family and friends, and I'm praying that you are going to be uncomfortable. Especially when it's hitting you where, okay, so what I was taught, I've been told lies. Now I'm learning the truth. And now I want to share that with my family. And there's going to be some pushback. But you continue to persevere and push forward. Don't let family and friends or naysayers pull you back. You continue to push forward. And then you find out what organizations that you can work with, align with, to where you can gain a better understanding. Do more research about a lot of the history, the Black history, like the Tulsa Massacre that took place in 1921. Central Park, which something, I'll be honest with you, I just learned this, used to be Seneca Village, but now Central Park. Like, research that information. And then have the conversations with your Black friends. Like, it's so important. Now, conversation is coming up. And I know some people feel like it's too late. No, it's not too late. God is doing something big, and we cannot miss it. Like, I'll continue to stress that. Even that we're still dealing with the pandemic of the coronavirus. So that has not, Corona didn't say that he or she was leaving. Coronavirus is still here. So we're dealing with that pandemic. So still the physical distancing, even those who are protesting, they have their masks on, being outside, probably not so much, but still being careful. still having those peaceful protesting where voices can be heard. Your voice can be heard protesting. Not the violent ones where you're out there looting or anything like that. I do not condone that. But I understand like the anger, but there's a way to channel that anger. But with a peaceful protest, voices still can be heard and changes will take place. Like God is on the move. Do not miss this. Do not miss this. Is going to be talked about for years to come. And for those who are out there every single day being in that protest, and I'm praying over all those who are out there. If there's any brutality, like my heart goes out to you, because that shouldn't be taking place at all. But know that God sees this. And God can touch the hardest hearts. He's the one who could change people. We lift up prayers. Prayers move. Prayers move heaven. God is on the move. And I will continuously say that He is on the move. Let's not miss what He's doing. In the midst of all of this whole year, and this is June, who knows what July has? Lord, what does July have? He's working. And what are we doing? What are we doing? How are we responding to what's taking place? Are we just going to be silent? I mean, I can go to the store and there are still some white people who won't even look at me. I will say hello, still say hi, please and thank you. I still be cordial. But this is showing it people's heart, where people are lying, especially when it's situations speaking about racism. It's showing where people's heart stands. And when you see that, it kind of breaks you like, oh, okay. But I didn't know that would. This is where prayers come in. And we continue to pray for our nation, pray for our leaders, right? In the White House, the police officers, the Senate, Congress, the churches. Are you speaking about this in the churches? It's very, very important. Churches also need to be speaking about racism. Because I'm still trying to understand why we have a black and a white church. Why are we just not church? Like people, church, we're the body, we're the church. So why is it separated? Now we need to come together. It needs to be diverse. In heaven, there are no sections. Right? There's not going to be a black section, a white section, Asian, Germans, Hispanics. There's not going to be. Hillsong's not going to play in one section, Lecrae and Andy Minnie of them not going to play another section. Everybody's going to be up there together. We're all going to be saying, holy, holy. There's not going to be sections. So we should be emulating what's already going to take place in heaven. But Satan wants to make sure that we're still separated. We can combat Satan, with the word, right? We stay in it every single day. Combat Satan with the word, because the word is truth. And then we apply that to our lives. We go out and we love thy neighbor as ourselves, right? We help one another. Speak life over each other. Speak God's word over one another. We are there for each other. We're emulating Jesus Christ, the example that walked this earth. That He is our example. We can't say we have an example. Jesus is our example. When you read and study the word, are we emulating Him with our hearts? Are we saying, okay, listen? Because Jesus, He listened to everybody. Are we listening? Instead of just, I already know. You don't have to tell me that. No, that's not true. Because I know you don't know all black people. I don't know all black people. You don't know all white people. I don't know all white people. But I'm willing to have uncomfortable conversations. You have to have these conversations. And they're so important. And this is going to continue. Until America acknowledges, and I mean white America acknowledges the sin on African Americans, the oppression, and like how the Native Americans, we can talk about that too. Pretty much almost wiped out. Let's talk. We could talk about that if you wish to, but there has to be an acknowledgement in order for this country to heal. Has to be an acknowledgement. So that's my little, I want to say like my little tangent, my little rant, but still, we gotta have these uncomfortable conversations, you guys. Racism exists. You know, find support Black businesses. If there are local ones in your area, find one and support them. How can you help? Find organizations that you can help. Black organizations. Talk about it within your families. White people, talk about it within your families. And talk about it with your Black friends. Have the conversation. Admit that you don't understand, because you won't experience it due to the color of your skin. But you want to understand how this is affecting us and what can you do to help. And the main way to help is to speak out about it. And don't just sit back, but speak out about it. You know, I love you guys so much. The podcast episode is up for the butterfly effect. Talk about racism. I'm not one to shy away from it, because it exists. And we just can't keep sweeping underneath the rug. God said we're not doing that anymore. Now it has been exposed. The wound has been exposed. So now it's time to talk about it. Love you guys so much. Everyone stay healthy out there. Have uncomfortable conversations. It's all right. Have them. And watch you grow from having these uncomfortable conversations. Be kind to one another. Okay? If you're on social media, you know, if it's too much on your mind, it's okay to take a step back. Sit down, talk, pray, ask God how you can step in and help out. He'll reveal it to you. Just make sure you're obedient when he reveals it to you, not kind of question. Be obedient and then go out there. He's going to guide you. But he has doors opening up for everybody, because we're all to play a part in this. He wants to see how we're going to respond to him. Please take care of yourself. Be safe out there. Black Lives Matter. My life matters. Love you all. Have a great one. Talk with you later. Bye.